In 1801, the United States sent its finest warships, including the legendary USS Constitution, to battle the ruthless Barbary corsairs in the Mediterranean. These pirates, aboard their swift and deadly Xebecs, had defined nations and dominant seas. Today, as I build this model of a Barbary Xebec, we will uncover what makes these ships so formidable that they forced the US Navy to deploy its best frigate to take them down. This 1/260 scale Xebec ship model is from Amati. Well, I have to say, it's an absolute masterpiece. When finished, it will be about 72 centimeters long and 50 centimeters tall, a really impressive size. Honestly, this is the best pirate ship model kit I have ever built. The instructions are like an art book, with high quality photos that makes the entire building process so much more enjoyable. I'm definitely hanging on these instructions after I'm done. And I have got to give a big thumbs up to Amati's quality control. I have built several of their kits now, and I have never run into defective or missing parts. Not once. I'm starting this build by assembling the ship's frame. To make sure everything stays nice and square, I'd highly recommend using the Amati keel Klamper tool. It's such a handy piece of equipment. If you are curious, I have actually done a full review of this tool in one of my earlier videos, so feel free to check that out. Now a little history about Xebec. Its design evolved from early Mediterranean vessels like the galley and the felucca, combining the best element of both. The name Xebec actually comes from the Arabic word Xebec, which reflects its roots in the seafaring cultures of North Africa. It's fascinating how much history is tied into these ship designs. Here, I'm marking out guidelines to prep for decking. These marks will help keep everything straight when I lay down the deck pieces. Once the deck piece is glued onto the ship frame, it's time to start decking. I cut the deck planks to the right length and use the Sharpie to darken the edge of each piece. This little trick creates a caulking effect that really makes the finished deck looks great. I have to say, I'm pretty happy with how the decking turned out. Before moving on to planking the hull, don't forget to shape the bulkheads carefully. Take your time with this step. It makes a huge difference. A well-shaped frame will not only make planking easier, but will also give you a much better looking finished hull. This model had a double layer of planking. For the first layer, you will need to use these white wood strips. The nice thing about them is they're pretty soft, so you don't need to soak them in hot water for too long. Just a couple of minutes will do the trick. Here I'm reinforcing the inside bulwarks and painting them red. But why red? Well, back in the days, the primary reason was practical. Red paint helped hide the blood stain from the injuries during combat. Naval battles were intensive, and seeing blood everywhere could shake the crew's morale. This red helped masking that, keeping everyone focused on the fight. Once the first planking is sanded nice and smooth, it's time to move on to the second planking. This layer uses walnut strips. Walnut is a tougher wood, so it needs a bit more soaking to make it flexible. I find that soaking for about 7 minutes works well. Any longer, and the wood might expand too much, which can make things tricky. Right now, I'm marking the positions for the gun port holes. To drill a perfect hole, I start by drilling a small pilot hole in the center. Then, I use a drill bit that is the right size and gently drill from both ends, meeting in the middle. This method helps minimize wood splintering, so you get a clean, smooth cut. After drilling all the gun port holes and oar holes, I thought the rest of the build would be smooth sailing. But nope. Turns out I made a little mistake. The rear bulwarks were way too high, so what do? Time to reveal my secret weapon, a hairdryer. The heat really helps soften the glue and makes the whole thing a lot easier to fix. Who knew a blow dryer could be a model builder's best friend? Now that everything's back on track, it's time to paint the ship hull, which is always my favorite part of the entire process. I find that this 3mm Tamiya curved masking tape works great for masking the waterlines. You can find the Amazon link in the video description if you are interested. You might be wondering why were Xebec's ships so colorful and decorated? I mean, weren't pirate ships supposed to be low profile? Well, not exactly. The bright colors and fancy decorations were all about reflecting cultural pride, status, and intimidation. They help make the ship stand out from a distance, showed off the owner's wealth and craftsmanship, and even made animators think twice. Plus, the decorations weren't just for show, they helped protecting the wood and added to the ship's overall prestige. Right now, I'm working on some of the smaller pieces on deck. This Xebec is armed with 14 medium caliber cannons and 6 culverins for close combat. But it also did a lot of cargo transport duty, which is why it got so many sky crates to maximize storage. It took me a bit to prep and assemble all of this. From the 16th to the 19th century, the Barbary states, modern days Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, and Libya, relied on Xebecs for piracy and pirateering. But why were Xebecs the go-to ships for Barbary pirates? Well, there are several reasons. First, the Xebec's sleek design and the lateen sail give it incredible speed, perfect for quick hit-and-run attacks on merchant ships. Speed was everything when it came to piracy. Second, the shallow keel was a game changer. It let Xebecs operate in shallow waters, hide in secluded coves, and navigate close to rocky shores, places where larger ships simply couldn't follow. Third, the Xebec were equipped with oars. This meant they could move even when there was no wind, an essential feature for sneaking up on targets or making a quick getaway, no matter the weather. And finally, their smaller size and simpler construction made them much cheaper than bigger ships. This was ideal for the Barbary pirates, who often operated with limited resources. All of these features combined to make the Xebec the ultimate pirate ship of its time. For the oars, I just followed the instruction template. I used a hobby knife and some sanding paper to shape them piece by piece, getting them just right. Now it's time to move on to the masts and the sail gaffs. The templates from the plan drawing are really helpful for getting the mast and gaffs into the right shapes. This part does take some time and patience, but trust me, the results are totally worth it. They're pretty unique compared to other ship models. The rigging on the Xebec is completely different from other sail ships. It kind of reminds me of setting up or tying a camping tent. Unique at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty straightforward to tie everything in place. To bend the gaff in the right curves, I soaked them in hot water for about half an hour. Then I secured the template from the plan onto a flat woodboard and used push pins to shape the curves. After the gaffs dried completely, the curves held perfectly. Once all the sail blocks were attached to the gaff, I started assembling the sail. The lateen sail has a lot of advantages. It makes the ship more maneuverable, letting it sail against the wind or navigate tight spaces. Its triangular shape helps with speed, especially when tacking, and it adds stability in rough seas. The sail's versatility makes it great for different ship types, and was particularly effective in shallow or coastal waters, giving ships a real tactical advantage. Tying the rigging to the belaying pins and cleats can be a bit tricky with this kit, especially since some spots are tough to reach. If you're having trouble, I'd recommend grabbing a set of long-nose tweezers. They're super helpful for this part. Next, I'm working on the lifeboat. Once I attach it in place and add a few final touches, that's it. Done. I hope you enjoyed watching the Xebec build and picked up something new about this beautiful ship. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.